Rebuttal. Can you tell us about when you were abducted in a little more detail? It was a strange morning. I felt like I was right in the middle of a great calm. And where were you when you experienced this calm? Our family garden, of course. Where else could it have been? Well, excuse me for asking. This child is more princeless than Prince.
Me for asking.
Or more princess than Prince. Princeless.
Princeless.
I was like trying to figure out the weird like metaphor or whatever, or analogy. I was like, oh wait. I was out taking a walk to shake off the morning blah.
Blah.
Then out of the blue, someone from behind clamps a hand over my mouth. You didn't see your attacker. They must have used some drug to knock me out. Because before I knew it, I was off in La La Land again. When I woke up, I was in the kidnapper's hideout already, all tied up. I like the bolo tie he has.
Yeah, I really want to start wearing bolo ties.
Do you? Looks so lame.
Wow, you just complimented his bolo tie. Now you're
It was
lying?
a sarcastic compliment.
Wow, now I'm embarrassed.
Just wear a real bow tie like a man.
Wow.
Bow ties are cool.
Bow ties are cool. I like to wear them in my hair.
When I've gone to weddings, I've insisted on wearing bow ties because I'm not wearing the other one. They're uncomfortable. They don't really look that great, I think.
It's gritty. They get everywhere.
Yeah. By that morning, you mean the room of the kidnapper's hideout, correct? Yes, but I was blindfolded the whole time, so I didn't know that until I made my escape.
You're about to make a mistake.
Then you were in the same room as your kidnappers. They spoke in hushed tones, but I could catch bits of their conversation. It was definitely two people, and one of them was definitely a woman. I was so scared I could tell they were nearby, so I didn't dare make a move. The sun would disappear around the time I heard rain falling outside. The kidnappers disappeared. The room fell into a sudden silence. I had been left behind like an unwanted mutt. What do you mean by unwanted mutt?
What a pointless question. It's not like he's gonna tell you anything new, you know?
That was a very dumb question. It's a poetic simile. You should learn how to use them too.
Whoa!
You may look refined on the outside, but it's no good if you're not refined on the inside as well. I love the sudden blow, the wind blowing on it. I hope that's a one-time animation they don't use anywhere else.
Yeah.
And those cuffs on your wrists, I suppose you are still cuffed in that case. I am well aware of how I am chained to reality. I couldn't find the key, so I'm afraid that I'm stuck like this. Even though I escaped from that jail cell, I will forever be a prisoner. How did you manage to escape? I wanted to just get out of there, but the door leading outside was locked, which is why I had to use the underground passageway to make my escape. I remember our escape to be equally as hard. This is an invaluable piece of testimony. I must let it go unexamined. Door leading outside was locked tight, so I had to use the underground passageway. By underground passageway, you mean the one the staff used to travel unnoticed. I suppose that's what it's for, but I didn't run into any staff members on my way out. And once I was up top, I was busy trying to find a member of the police. That is when you found us congregated at the stadium, I suppose. Let me ask you then, how did you get a hold of the key to the underground door? That was easy. It was hanging right there in the room on the wall. Weren't you blindfolded?
Mm.
I do recall a key hanging on the wall right beside the table.
But does that bring back memories of our situation, how we made our escape?
It was earlier today.
I remember like it was yesterday.
It was today. That means you remember it worse.
Yeah, I have terrible memory.
I actually want to start using that for things that happen earlier in the day now.
Oh, you've never done that? I do that all the time.
No, but it'd be very fitting because I also have terrible memory.
Yeah, I use that all the time.
And although the door in the floor of our room led to an underground room, the door in the floor of the room next door had a secret passageway.
Secret passageway under a theme park. Ooh, that just sounds like so much fun.
I don't know, the one at Disney isn't that fun. It's pretty boring and big.
There's a secret passageway in Disney?
Connecting all the parks. There's
Oh, really?
Yeah, massive miles-long underground tunnels. They first like revealed pictures to the public like only a few years ago, I think. But it's like a
what is it
staff.
for? So like
staff.
staff can
Get to place quick, especially the characters, without having to like fight crowds to get from one place to another.
Yeah, like and then like fight traffic to like have to like shuttle somebody.
Yeah.
That's fair.
But yeah, it's massive, the underground's there, but it's also really boring. It's not that cool.
Yeah, I can imagine, right? Like if you're
It's not
the customers.
it's not made like themed to look like anything. It's just tunnels. Very, very long tunnels. Like a 2-mile long tunnel here to there. Like, I wonder, is there something off about the way Lance made his escape? Okay. With the last statement?
Okay, yeah, that one. The broken sword.
You say that the door leading out was locked, but was it really? Those are not very secure.
Yeah.
Talking about that room behind the saloon front, right? Look, I heard that it took quite a few men to get that thing open, right, Sheena?
Yes, that is correct.
Then take a look at this. What is that, a sword? It's not especially reliable one if it's broken like that. Allow me to start from the end. My conclusion is that the door was never locked. It was simply held shut by the sword which was used to jam the handle. Lance, even though your hands were cuffed together, you could still use them. If that's the case, then why did you not just simply remove the sword and escape? Why didn't I? I was disoriented. Yes, that's it. I didn't notice it. As if I should accept such a bold-faced lie. You locked yourself in that room because you had to make yourself look like the victim. But you did not, in fact, possess the key to the door. That is why you used the prop sword to improvise and create a prison of your very own. You've been making this guy out to be one of the kidnappers for some time now. I wonder if you forgot something very important along the way. What would that be? A motive, what else? Do you honestly think that an uptight pure boy like him would hatch up a completely pointless scheme such as kidnapping himself? Didn't Lang just a little while ago say that who cares about a motive? That's not very important.
Listen, it's only important when it matters to him.
This proves that Lance did indeed have a motive to commit this crime.
The letter from Tender Lender, is that what it is?
The letter from my wife.
My wife.
Put it simply, Lance has a very urgent need for money. This is hardly your typical love letter. It is in fact a collections bill. It appears the upstanding boy has accumulated quite a debt. Isn't that right, Lance? Wait. Oh yeah, this game takes place before Ace Attorney 3. Okay. I was gonna be like, wait, how does Tender Lender exist? Oh, this is before fake Phoenix Wright was arrested. Ugh.
Looks like it's hard being the son of a rich man, too. Must be rough when you have to resort to stealing from your old man, huh?
All right, I give up. I abducted myself.
Alarms.
It's over, Lolly. In this life, we are bound to our fates after all. All I wanted was to go with you to a new town, somewhere where no one would know us. I wanted us to be well off with that $1 million, but now, that dream is over.
Alarms.
Then you are giving yourself up. Yes, I had planned to run away from this world with my Lolly. Oliver even helped us with the plan, but then he had to go and stab us in the back. He turned on you. Maybe he didn't want to split the ransom money, that's my guess. It happened almost right after you made the drop-off. When we were alone, he attacked me all of a sudden. After a brief struggle, I was able to contain him and keep him under control. We left him inside that room as Lolly and I made our escape. We wore different costumes and split up. Lolly left first in a blue badger costume. That means the person Officer Meekin saw was his pops. But right then, the old man just had to wake up. I was careless and he tackled me pretty hard from behind. Then Oliver put on a bad badger costume, took the suitcase with the $1 million and ran. I contacted Lolly right away and warned her that he had a gun. He had no idea that they were related, so I thought I could only end up badly.
I still don't believe it. That person was not my father. Because if it was, I just killed my own father.
Patricide?
Patricide, yep.
Lolly, then it really was you. I guess not. We're cross-examining her.
That man was not my father. I mean, because at the stadium, there was a bad badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million American US currency dollar in it. But that badger pointed his gun at me, aiming to shoot me dead. That's why I used the gun I got from Lance. There was a gunshot, the other person crumbled to the ground and I ran, scared for my life.
I think the big picture is finally coming into focus, don't you? Lolly, forgive me. I didn't think it would turn into something so frightening. If only I could have protected you.
So, Miss Pops, she shot her own dad without even knowing who he really was?
I don't know if this is justified self-defense. Maybe? I guess if you thought it was a real gun, is that count then?
There needs to be a perceived threat to your life. I don't think it needs to, like you have at least enough plausible deniability. If you think that because not to get super political, but there's been plenty of cases, especially within recent history, where people get killed and they win the self-defense clause because they thought that they were endangered and they weren't really. You know, you see it all the time.
Yeah. That's sad.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying.
If what she says is true.
Are you saying she's lying? But why would she lie about something like that? What purpose would it serve?
You would be surprised how often people lie without even realizing it themselves, Kay.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
What I mean is listen very carefully to her confession once more and you'll see. Okay.
Did we already press?
We did it, yeah. Please calm down and let's slowly talk through this.
But
All you have to do is simply tell us what happened at the stadium. Leave it to us to search out the truth. Can you do that for me?
Alright. So at the stadium.
That was the ransom money, wasn't it?
Yes, thus I was able to identify Mr. Deacon almost immediately. It was all thanks to what the Lancer told me.
And what did he tell you?
Well, he called me on my cell phone and told me that Mr. Deacon had betrayed us and had run off with the ransom money. And how he had a gun.
Were you able to clearly see the gun?
Yes, I got a very good look at it while he was pointed at me. Oh, Father, why would you try to shoot me? Do you really think a father would shoot his own daughter, Mr. Edgeworth?
Some other shitty parents. I don't know.
I don't want to believe it myself. But it's true, my father's left arm was raised with a gun in it. Pointed straight at me, I'm about to die, I thought.
Miss Pops. Please calm down and take a deep breath. And then, would you allow me to please hear that last statement one more time?
Yes, of course.
Treat me dead. And you felt that your life was in danger, correct?
Yes, I'm about to die, I thought. So.
You shot Mr. Deacon.
Miss Pops. Yes, I shot him.
Ah ha ha. And that, as they say, is that. It's Lang. Miss Pops is far from done. She hasn't even finished her testimony yet. Going to continue questioning her? What a waste of time. Miss Pops, if you please.
Alright.
Did you take off immediately following the gunshot?
Yes.
And you didn't attempt to approach the victim at all after he was shot?
I was scared. I don't blame you. I would have done the exact same thing. Or Mrs. Pops. Miss Pops.
Oh, she got married.
Got married
That's
in
the last
between the two
statement.
lines of dialogue. Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing that happens fairly instantaneously.
So what would become of her, Mr. Edgeworth?
She seems to be telling the truth regarding what happened at the stadium. However, I don't believe it to be absolutely correct. Listen very carefully to her confession once more, and you'll see. Okay. So did you see it?
I'll be honest, not really. That one, because the Badger's gun is in the right hand.
What would that be? Would that be the...
The gun?
The gun is just the missing model gun.
Yeah. Yes, maybe the Bible.
Probably this. The shirt is on the right hand?
Yeah. Yeah.
No? Okay.
Nope.
If you were to look at this, can you still claim what you just said to be true?
Actually, I can.
Ha ha ha, she showed you.
He's laughing pretty hard at you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes, I know, but I refuse to allow him to ruffle my feathers. I'm going to remain calm and collected and find my contradiction. Okay, wait!
That it shoots blanks. Is that it?
This? Maybe?
Stole a gun from a guard during an escape. We thought.
No,
My head.
higher.
Oh, he's dominant hand. He's right-handed.
So
yeah,
that?
I guess. Maybe, yeah, that'd be good.
Okay, cool.
And that was it.
I have here a dossier on your father. According to this, your father was right-handed.
Then.
The person pointing a gun at you from atop the stage was not Mr. Deacon. Hang on there, Mr. Prosecutor. I think you need to take a refresher course. The Bad Badger has a model gun attached to his right hand, which is why the only hand he could have held the real gun with was his left. Isn't it possible that it went down like that? Richard Lang, were you paying attention to what Miss Pops was saying? Then again, I suppose I can't expect someone who has never set foot in court to catch it. Enough with the smugness, out with it already. Miss Pops told us earlier.
There was a suitcase pulling. There was a Bad Badger suitcase. There was a bad suitcase pulling the badger. There was a Bad Badger pulling this suitcase. Wow. It's not even a hard sentence to say. It's been a long day. There was a Bad Badger pulling the suitcase with the 1 million American US currency dollars in it.
Talk about putting the suitcase before the badger.
Very funny.
According to you, the Bad Badger had the gun in his left hand, which would mean that he was pulling the suitcase with his right hand. Is that correct, Miss Pops?
Yes, exactly. And I'm sure it was the Bad Badger. It had those huge sunglasses on its head. Face.
Well, if that's the case, even I can see there's a huge contradiction. Yes, Miss Pops claims to have seen the Bad Badger, and yet the Bad Badger had both of his hands full. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong.
One must be wrong. They're both correct.
I mean, I feel like it is they were both correct.
Yeah, but like for different reasons.
What
Yeah,
do you
they're
think?
both correct.
They're both correct. These two pieces of information contradict each other, so one must be wrong. Both are correct. They are both correct. Possible, that just leaves us with an irresolvable contradiction. Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact that she saw his sunglasses and beard. But what if that Bad Badger wasn't wearing pants on his lower half? This is just such a weird thing to talk about. This proves that there was a way for the Bad Badger to freely use both of his hands. Where?
Is it the head?
The what?
The head? No, the other head.
This is the head.
No, I guess the gun.
I guess this,
Yeah.
the missing gun.
Yeah.
Here, head on straight, Mr. Prosecutor. That doesn't show me diddly squat.
I knew it. What I saw was just a mirage.
But wait, I can explain. Oh, so the Bad Badger had a gun in his left hand, suitcase in his right. The Bad Badger costume has a model gun attached to his right hand. Which what created this contradiction on which hand did what? Miss Pop's entire statement rests on the fact she saw his sunglasses and beard. What if that Bad Badger
Yeah, I was right.
wasn't
It was
wearing
a helmet.
pants? Oh, he mixed and
He
matched.
saw this. Yeah, he mixed and matched.
I
the
didn't
costume.
understand what you're saying. You should have explained it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. The costume has two parts to them, a head and the body.
Oh, I get it now.
The head Miss Pops saw was probably really the head of the Bad Badger. However, is it not possible that the body was that of an entirely different badger? A different badger? Yes, or to put it more bluntly, I believe it was the lower half of this badger. The body of the Bad Badger Miss Pops saw really belonged to this badger.
The proto badger.
Is it?
Yeah, cause
What the heck is it?
it's the proto badger.
Yes, and it's a simple matter of process of elimination. Miss Pop's wearing the blue badger's costume, so we can eliminate that one. And the pink badger is of the wrong color, which would have been incredibly obvious. All there's left is the proto badger costume. Miss Pops, who is the one who wore the proto badger costume?
That would be a lance.
Are you saying what I think you are? The Lance Amano down the big Bad Badger's head and pretended to be Mr. Deacon? Top of that, he plotted to shoot Miss Pops for wearing that hideous thing. The stage that was set up in the stadium was nothing more than that, a setup. And its purpose was to lead Miss Pops into believing she had committed murder. Standing there in front of Miss Pops and pretending to be the victim. It was all done so that she would pull the trigger. I have no idea what you're talking about. Why exactly would I have had to do all that, huh? There is but one reason. Lance Amano. You are the real culprit behind the murder of Mr. Oliver Deacon. What?
No.
That's slander. Take it back. You take it back right now. Just out of curiosity, Lance, which is your dominant hand? I'm left-handed. What does that have to do with anything? Depends. According to Miss Pops, her attacker held a gun in his left hand. Why would you have answered that honestly?
Yeah, right.
Ha! Who is what-handed doesn't prove a thing. Besides, now you're just being absurd. It's not like the Proto Badger is bulletproof. One misfire and he would have found himself dead, right? Of course, logically, if he had been shot, he probably wouldn't be here with us. But I believe he had thought of that as well and prepared accordingly. And this should be all the evidence you need. This is how Lance made sure that he wouldn't be hit by a bullet.
The gunfire blinked.
And the missing model gun. We found one half of a Bad Badger costume in the hideout, a broken one. It was not the same one that the victim was wearing, plus it was missing something. That something is a model gun that the Bad Badger carries, which can fire blanks. What? Miss Pops, where's the gun you use now?
I threw it away into the sea.
That makes it a bit tough to verify what it was. Although I believe that we can safely assume that it was the model gun in question. I mean, can't you just, like, check the ocean outside where you are? I don't know. Maybe it would have been carried
Yeah,
away by
guns are pretty
currents.
heavy.
I mean, it's a model gun, but I don't know. I think it'd be worth checking to see if it was right there.
Yeah, you can comb the bottom.
I've heard enough. All you've been spouting so far is pure conjecture. I admit that as long as the model gun is lost to us, I can't prove I'm right. However, I can say that the probability that I am right is very high. Okay, let's pretend that you're right, that the murder of the stadium was a fabrication. In that case, where do you think the murder really took place, Mr. Prosecutor? I don't know yet. Ha! I knew you were full of it. However, I do believe that the murder took place during an earlier time frame.
Please wait a second. It's simply not possible. Because I saw Mr. Deacon after he was restrained by Lance.
She saw the victim in the state of being restrained.
I came back to the hideout long after the other two. But at that time, Lance had already subdued and restrained Mr. Deacon. He tied Mr. Deacon securely to the beam in the room next door. After that, the two of us put on our costumes and made our escape.
So Mr. Deacon must have escaped after the two of you left, right?
We thought that it attract too much attention if we left together, so I left first. We plan to meet up again at the stage in the stadium. But then, as I was walking through the park, I got a call from Lance on my cell phone.
Oliver managed to escape. It looked like he was waiting until I was alone. He also stole the gun from me at that time. And then the murder happened. Mr. Deacon must have overheard their plan to meet up at the stage. While Mr. Prosecutor, Miss Pop saw the victim with her own eyes. Which means the victim was still alive at that time. Wouldn't you agree? Why does that sound wrong to me? There must be something amiss about this account. Let's see what happens when I examine it in more detail. For the other two. When exactly did you arrive back at the hideout?
It was after we had picked up the ransom money.
And where were you up until the time you returned?
I was scouting the park out and making preparations for our escape. I walked around in the various areas looking for the best routes.
Ah, so each of them had their own roles to play.
After I was done, I went back to the hideout.
Sorry, subdued, you're restrained, Mr. Deacon. How did Lance look at that time?
He looked shocked. He also looked a little down. When I saw that sadness in his eyes,
Thank you, that's enough for now. Now, what about Mr. Deacon? What was his situation like?
Hold it!
You're sure that it was Mr. Deacon that you saw?
Yes, I am certain of what I saw.
Did you go into the other room to check?
Lance said it was best if I didn't get too close to him. Lance, he's such a kind soul.
And are you telling me that you did not confirm that it was Mr. Deacon for yourself?
I checked through the slits in the door that separates the two rooms. He had a bad badger head on, so I am absolutely sure that just had to be Mr. Deacon.
You saw a bad badger head. Oh, that's a new line.
Press it real good.
You want to read it?
Well, the captain had a bad badger head on, so I'm absolutely sure it was Mr. Deacon.
So the tied up Mr. Deacon was still in his bad badger costume.
Yes, and
Yes, I'm good at improv too. It would appear that she misread the whole situation. What now? Should I raise an objection?
yes,
The person you saw was not the victim.
What? Why not?
We'll tell you why not. With this. This, Miss Pop, shows us the person you saw was not the victim.
The blood, the costume, right? There's a missing costume, but there's no blood in it, right? Is that what it is?
What? We haven't found
No.
the missing costume.
Is it the corpse that was bloody,
Uh,
or that where it was found?
No.
Is it the head?
That would be the head.
I don't know. It was left in the isolation room.
Take that!
Miss Pops, the person you saw was not Mr. Decon at all.
It was me.
The person you actually saw was this person.
Miles
Kay
Edgeworth.
Faraday. Oh. Miles Edgeworth.
Yeah.
It was me.
The person I saw was you, Mr. Edgeworth.
I always thought it was a bit odd. Why would the kidnappers abduct me even after I had handed over the ransom? It's not as though they saw the face of the kidnappers. If I were them, I would have just taken the $1 million and ran. But in the end, there was a point to it all. It was to make me look like Mr. Decon. And if that was the reason for which I was abducted, then I believe we can assume that the victim was already dead at that time. Well, Lance, am I right? That's... You showed Miss Pop's person, namely me with a bad badger's head on, and then made your costume escape together, or so you pretended.
What do you mean he pretend?
Exactly that. I believe Lance watched you escape, and then doubled back to the hideout. Probably to come and remove the bad badger head from my unconscious self. And to create a fake prison with a prop sword. He then
That
escaped
was
via the
really
passageway.
unsettling and upsetting. Just awkward pause.
Sorry.
Knuckle back!
Hold your tongue, boy. Don't get
Oh,
caught
that's
up in
cute.
that tidal wave of words coming out of Mr. Prosecutor's mouth.
He looks like he's like resting his shoulders against him, like, Daddy, please.
Stop, he's not a kid. He doesn't get
I mean,
kidnapped.
I was gonna say he did get kidnapped.
He got adult napped.
What?
Tidal wave? Heard a lot coming out of you, but I've yet to see a shred of evidence. The victim's betrayal and the subsequent detainment. All that could happen while you were out cold. That's right. Well, you were out quite a while, Mr. Prosecutor. If that were the case, Mrs. Potts would have still seen me tied to that beam.
I was scared of Mr. Decon, so I didn't go into the next room. So I really have no idea if you were in there or not, Mr. Edgeworth.
You see, it would have seemed that you can't prove a thing. Who said that? Please wait. Mr. Amano. Oh. Miles, my boy. It looks like you're really giving it your all. And Lance, it's not going to cause trouble for others. Dad! Let's see, you are the one in charge of the investigation, correct? Yes, that's right. Sorry that my son has been nothing but trouble. This probably won't make up for anything, but I have some evidence for you. Oh, do you now? Is that what I think it is?
It's a bad badger costume the victim was wearing, and a gun.
Couldn't wait around for the police, so I went and found these myself. It appears they were disposed of in the sea. Arg, is there no one in this country who actually obeys the law? There. No. Agent Lang, please calm down. What the heck is that scrap of paper?
This appears to be a letter from the chief of police. Please allow Mr. Amano complete freedom to do as he sees fit, it says.
What? The chief of police? What the? Just who does he think he is?
The person who wields the highest authority in this area.
There. Now, there's no need to be so upset. Huh, I'm not a cop from this land, so I'm not bound by the laws of your country. No. This wasn't meant to strong arm you into anything, it's just a request. I'm only asking that you please respect the laws of the land. I can't really say no to that. However, returning to the topic at hand. Doesn't matter who found the evidence, its value remains unchanged. Alright, now let's take a look at this new evidence. Already got the results back. At a special forensics research labs on good terms with conduct the tests. They verified that the blood on this costume belonged to Oliver. As far as the gun, the only fingerprints they could find were yours, Lauren. What? What? You disappoint me, Miles. Can't believe that you would cause my son such stress and heartache. Thank goodness I was able to find the final pieces of evidence. With this, you'll have no reason left to push my poor boy around. That's it? These are the case-making pieces of evidence? I'll be the judge of that. Best to inspect every suspicious looking nickel thing. Try to see if it's... Yeah, we can at least examine this. Oh... There. It's a bullet hole.
It looks kind of burnt around the edges.
Wait, those burn marks were left by gunpowder. This is the most important fact.
Why is that?
Because it is proof that the victim was shot at point-blank range. We have to explain this in every single Ace Attorney game because it's always relevant.
Every single game.
Ballistic markings. I know that's an...
Yeah, at this point, I would be surprised if the gunshot hole didn't have gunpowder.
Could this gun be the actual murder weapon?
And then it would still be the same having to explain it. Like, why is that relevant? Because that means they were not shot at point blank range.
What's this? It looks like there's something inside the costume head.
Hey, this sparkle! I bet they're really valuable.
Sorry, they're just pieces of a mirror. But why are they in here? Too bad we haven't seen a mirror that's broken.
Nope.
Well, are these not the most definitive pieces of evidence you've ever seen? Thank you, Dad. This should be enough to convince even Mr. Edgeworth over there. Okay, maybe we should save here. Like, I mean, theoretically we could have them talk and then save before we cross-examine, but then it'll be a little more confusing. So this is probably the better place to save.
Yeah.
Just noticed there's a bad ending, apparently, if we ran out of logic after finding the missing costume.
I mean, save and we could try to get the bad ending.
No, I think we already passed it. But I don't understand. But okay. because it would have been right before the cross-examination. So that's weird. I don't know how there could have been a bad ending there, but
Like
it's
while-
the
while
7th
we were
bad
in-
ending though, so we already missed 6 bad endings.
Oh wow,
So
we're really bad at finding bad endings.
we're too good at the game.